The U.S. and the militant group agreed to begin to end America's longest war. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo met a Taliban delegation during a historic moment, which they shared a stage in Qatar's capital Doha. Pompeo, who called it a momentous day, gave a list of pointers to the Taliban to follow to ensure success. The deal, signed by U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad and Taliban political chief Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, agrees to the complete withdrawal of U.S. and NATO troops within 14 months, contingent on the Taliban following through with its own side of the deal. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A mother is taking her fight to the Minnesota State Capitol so that her son with epilepsy can use CBD oil in case he has a seizure. The Mind Unleashed reports the worried mother expressed that her son has tried 3 different epilepsy medications, resulting in life-threatening reactions. However, the 2 things that safely and reliably work for him are medical marijuana and CBD oil. CBD oil is derived from the hemp plant, and it is similar to compounds that our bodies produce naturally called endocannabinoids. Cannabinoids aren't only found in the cannabis plant, they're also naturally occurring in other plants, but are found at a higher potency in cannabis. CBD oil offers the healing power of marijuana without the psychoactive effect of the chemical compound THC. CBD has shown promise as a treatment for conditions like epilepsy and anxiety in early research. If your job is working at a restaurant flipping burgers, you may soon find yourself replaced by a robot that works for $3 an hour. The Mind Unleashed reports the new robot is named Flippy and was developed by Miso Robotics, costing less to employ than a minimum wage worker. Currently, Miso Robotics charges an upfront fee of between $20,000 to $30,000 to install Flippy into restaurants. According to Digital Trends, Flippy is a burger flipping robot arm that's equipped with both thermal and regular vision, which grills burgers to order while also advising human collaborators in the kitchen when they need to add cheese or prep buns for serving. When Miso Robotics set out to create their first units, off-the-shelf robotic arms sold for upwards of $100,000. Today they're going for about $10,000 and are only getting cheaper. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
After visiting his girlfriend of 2 years at her workplace to deliver an unexpected threat for Valentine's Day, violent and controlling boyfriend Matthew Strachan spoke to The Onion about remaining a devoted and committed abuser.
On a special day like today, I like doing something extra malicious for Mallory, just so she knows that I've been thinking about hurting her. You should have seen the look on her face when I came and surprised her at work today. It was so great. She had no idea I was going to come to her office to belittle and frighten her. I wanted to do it in front of her friends to really humiliate her.
Strachan added that while he doesn't always get a chance to inflict harm on Mallory, he tries his best each and every day to create an environment of sustained physical and emotional abuse to leave her feeling completely alienated and powerless.
Just wait till she sees what I have in store for her tonight. I love Valentine's Day.
For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Yes, this is Free Talk Live. The live Monday night edition. Our toll-free number here is 855 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE like freedom. In the studio, joining you on this fine Monday evening is myself. I'm the captain.
My name is Ian.
And nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And we are here to talk about many things, as well as find out what's on your mind and your thoughts. You're free to call in and talk about anything, of course, as we go on.
You kind of look like the walrus, too. So
I thought I was the ape man.
Huh?
Am I not the ape man? I'm the walrus? Are you the ape man then?
The Eggman.
The Eggman. Sorry, Eggman.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was Eggman for many years until I finally read the lyrics.
Yeah. I've never read the lyrics.
Yeah, I don't know. You just reminded me of the time has come, the walrus said, to speak
talk
of many things.
Of shoes and ships and sealing wax and I don't remember.
Something or other in Kings.
Yeah, that's right.
They must have been high as hell writing those lyrics.
You think?
Yeah.
But
I
we
think
digress.
the poem is much older than the Beatles.
Really? It's not their original work? I didn't know that.
Well, the time has come, the walrus said, I think comes out of maybe Alice in Wonderland or something
really?
of that era.
Yeah, I believe
it's
so.
not in the song. But the song does have, I am the walrus, I am the Eggman, cuckoo cachoo.
Gotcha.
The Eggman is in like Humpty Dumpty?
Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Well, that's something that I remember being ingrained into my head from grade school at some point. So I believe you are correct. It was something around Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
if not directly from Alice in Wonderland.
It was that. It was that era.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that it was. Oh God, I can't even. Lewis Carroll was.
Oh, maybe, yeah. But I learned a lot of things in school and about that time. And do you remember going to the school dance, right? You're 5th, 6th grade, and it's like the first time you ever had to like ask a girl to dance or whatever. That kind
was
of a thing.
so awkward.
The whole awkward chaperoned, dance. Well,
yeah, I think that was the first and last time I ever did that.
I never went to those things.
Yeah.
I took a girl to her prom when I was 25.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's one of those sort of coming of age things that happens to a lot of kids, their first dance.
Yeah.
And I don't remember there being really any rules surrounding it other than all the kids were nervous and there were a bunch of adult chaperones at the dance, right? They were trying to mimic something adults and, make kids dress up all fancy and, oh, look, aren't they precious and cute and all that kind of a thing, right? But I don't remember any like real rules around that. But I got this article from Today, of all places, today.com. Their school policy forbids kids from saying no when asked to dance.
That's so creepy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like you can't say no. What do you mean I can't say no?
Am I also obligated to attend the dance? Because if that were the case, I would just choose not to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And
are you obligated to go home and have sex with people, if they ask you to? Because,
You must.
why not if you're going to go that
Just go
far?
all the way, yeah.
Just the asking is your ticket home. So one mom is fighting back on behalf of her 11-year-old daughter. This is written by Rachel Paula Abramson. Alicia Hobson's 11-year-old daughter, Aslyn, was counting down the days until the Valentine's Day dance at her Utah middle school. She was
Utah, of all places.
Utah. Huh. I know, like, sometimes we talk about things and the first reaction, some people are like, oh, but that's in Utah. Like, well, what does that mean? This could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere, but it is in Utah, which is a very authoritarian state.
Yeah. Right. She was so excited she could barely sleep, Hobson told Today parents, noting that the 6th grader picked out her outfit a week ahead of time. So she's obviously stoked. It was supposed to be the best day ever, Hobson, 37, said, but it wasn't. That afternoon, when Aslyn got home, she had an emotional explosion, quote unquote, in the kitchen, while recounting how a boy who makes her uncomfortable had asked her to dance. She politely said, "No thank you," Hobson revealed. The problem? At Rich Middle School in Laketown, Utah, it's against the rules to say no. And Principal Kip Mata allegedly intervened when he heard Aslyn decline the invitation at the dance. So here's two kids, right? One's going up to the other, hey, do you want to dance? The girl thinks he's creepy or whatever. She's like, no, thank you. Mm-hmm. And here comes the principal. Whoa, hey, wait a minute. That's against the rules.
Shocking.
Wow. This should have feminists spinning in their graves, even if they're not dead.
Well, I mean, this should upset anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who believes in, the ability to make choices for yourself.
Apparently, he said something like, no, you kids go out and dance. He basically shooed Aslan and the boy.
Oh, wait, this happened at the dance? I'm sorry, I thought
At the dance.
Oh, wow. I thought this was like in advance. He asked her to go to the dance with him or something like that. Okay, I missed
the dance was
So she had to dance with him.
And he came up and he asked, and she said, no, thank you. And the principal then comes over and goes, oh, no.
Wow.
You two are going to go dance because we have this rule.
I wonder if he's that insistent when he tries to put his hands on an 11-year-old girl.
Oh, boy.
Where's
Joe Biden?
Where is he? He's sniffing the situation as we speak. There's a little blurb here. Looks like
this
something
is so sad.
Looks like something Alicia posted on a Facebook. It says, no means no. A kid at school that makes my daughter uncomfortable asked her to dance at the school on Valentine's Day. She tried to say no thank you, and the principal overheard and intervened and told her she's not allowed to say no and that she has to dance with him. This boy has been quoted as publicly saying something very disturbing of a sexual nature. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It doesn't matter if rumors are terrible and should be dismissed. So that's her little blurb. She's obviously
apparently more to that, but I don't know if it was in a photo, so I don't know if we can read the rest of it.
Yeah. Aslan told her mother that she hated every minute and was so relieved when the song finally ended. Can you imagine being mortified during the song that you know?
It's terrible. I mean, did she have to touch him too? Was it a slow dance?
Yeah, it doesn't really specify that here. Mata and Rich School District Superintendent Dale Lamborn did not immediately respond to emails seeking comment, but Mata stood by the school's policy in a letter to Hobson.
Yeah, let's hear this.
We do ask all students to dance. It's the nice thing to do, and this will continue to be our policy, Mata wrote on February 15th. There have been similar situations in the past where some students have felt uncomfortable with others, and, as stated prior, the issues were discreetly handled. This allowed all students to feel welcome, comfortable, safe, and included.
What the hell does that mean?
I have no idea.
Some students felt uncomfortable with others, and the issues were discreetly handled.
It means they put a rug over it. They covered it up, and nobody spoke out publicly.
Yeah, or this is exactly how they handled it. They were like, no, you go ahead and
right, right. But nobody spoke up publicly, so it was handled discreetly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mata added that Hobson always has the option to check Aslan out of school during dances, so I believe it sounds like they can hold them out.
Do they give a ticket for kids? She has to check her out of school? Like you drop your kid off and they give you a little laundry ticket and you go to pick her up and you've lost and no ticky, no washing.
Like a coat check at a club.
Yeah.
Mata added that Hobson always had... Oh, yeah, we said that.
It said that you missed that the dances are held during the daytime, so it's during school hours.
Right. Or at least during light hours.
So without your parents coming to check you out, you can't leave, legally.
Right, yeah.
Well, I would like to know what would have happened to the little lady if she had said no. If she had said no to the principal as well.
Right, yeah, just put her foot down and been like, no, or started, threw a hissy fit or a temper tantrum or something.
Well, then she probably would have ended up in jail. They don't screw around in schools these days.
That's true. I've seen video recently of a 6-year-old being arrested by the police. With a cop actually sort of talking about how it was his youngest arrest ever since he'd previously arrested a 7-year-old. So it's not like it was his first time arresting a child. He had arrested more than one.
Can you imagine him in his interview for his next cop job? So what would you say your strength is? Well, I'm really experienced at arresting minors. Jeez. Particularly those in the grade school category.
Yeah, I think that parents need to get their kids out of these government schools. That's the best solution here. Otherwise, instruct them on how to stand up for themselves.
855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. Do you want your kids being forced to dance with kids they don't like at school? More coming up.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com. I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Do you know the difference between erudite and pedantic? If you do, you're probably pedantic. But seriously, a surprising number of erudite people mispronounce erudite, which has 3 syllables, not 4. Say erudite, not erudite. Because you are judged by how you speak, you want to avoid common misstatements, especially if you're a job seeker. For instance, do you know the difference between imply and infer? Only a speaker can imply, only a listener can infer. And when you say you'll be out of pocket, do you mean out of touch? Out of pocket means you're on your own dime, not yet reimbursed. And if anyone ever asks, why do you always answer a question with a question? You should reply, do I do that? Just kidding. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
There are basically 2 types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's lively, it's talkative, and it's free. It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday night edition. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go to your thoughts and your calls in just a moment. But first, I wanted to ask if you are 100% sure you're going to have a great retirement. Or do you have some doubt? Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. With the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and the unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, You can't wait to take control of your money. Don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead of building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and as little involvement from the government as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. Get your free copy now at cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. Get your free copy of The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project at cfo-project.com. We were talking about this article from today.com where a school in Utah has a rule that if you are asked to dance at the social event that these schools put on for the children, that you cannot say no, you cannot refuse.
Ridiculous.
And that is what has happened.
It's dance socialism.
It really is. It's a microcosm of socialism at that point, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is essentially telling the young person, in this case, 11-year-old girl, that you don't own yourself, that you belong to the community, and we, the administrators, will decide for you who you will have to have touch you or whatever, because usually when you ask someone to dance, now look, I've only been to one school dance. That was the only one I ever went to.
They're going to be a minimum holding hands, though,
but
right?
Usually, well, I don't know, but usually, like, you know, if it's just like not a slow dance, people are just dancing, right? Like it's just people dancing on a dance floor. But when you ask someone to dance, it usually suggests that that is some sort of a slow dance invitation, typically, right? That's usually what that entails.
I'm not the guy to be asking about dances. I was outside getting high.
Yeah.
In the sixth grade?
That's my understanding.
In the sixth grade?
We didn't have dances in the sixth grade.
Okay, all right.
And actually, in those days, I was drinking more. I remember showing up
in the sixth grade.
No, in the eighth grade when I actually had dances. But I remember
I started early
burying
too,
a case of beer near the school so I could get at it near the dads. I went out at like 3 a.m. with a shovel and a case of my dad's beer.
Wow.
Sorry, Dad.
Wow. All right. Well, let's go to some of your calls and your thoughts. We have Michael checking in from Miami, Florida. Michael, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
This
What's on your
doesn't
mind?
sound like a fake call. Go ahead.
No. Okay, so I have a question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say, why would they say no?
Why would who say no?
Why would somebody say no to dancing? Maybe they are uncomfortable with that person.
Maybe they don't want to dance at all.
It did say specifically in this instance that this particular, it was a boy who asked this girl to dance, did make her uncomfortable and had said some things to her previously before the dance, you know, at school or whatever.
He had been quoted as saying things publicly that were uncomfortably sexual to her. So his reputation apparently was not good at that school. And of course, reputation matters, you know. People don't know what you're like behind closed doors until they've been behind closed doors with you. So, you know, that's why people need to talk about that kind of thing.
Did that answer your question, Michael?
That's it. You guys had a lot of prank calls last night, and so.
Yeah, we get those from time to time. Well, we appreciate your call tonight. Children, minors, right? Folks under the age of 18 are the last remaining segment.
Minors are not the same thing as children. Children are people who have not hit puberty. Minors are a legal definition of someone who has not reached the legal age of majority.
I'm speaking of the legal definition of, folks under 18.
Yeah.
No.
Are the last folks to really have anybody stand up for their rights as an individual.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
All the other segments of humanity, right? Tall people, fat people, short people, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're not real people until they reach an arbitrary age as determined by people in Congress.
I have this thing that I do, and people that know me have seen this. When I meet a child, I don't talk to a child in a child's voice. I'm like, oh, ain't you the cutest little, I don't, I'm like, hey, what's going on?
They get really irritated if they're 14 and you do that.
Right. But I'm just saying that these are our little human beings, right? And they should have the same rights as all other beings, right? I have the right to associate with whomever I like. And if I don't want to associate with somebody, I can walk away. Or if they're at my place, I can kick them out, right? And I don't understand why you don't extend this same right to children at a dance.
I mean, if I was a parent, I would not support full freedom of association for my child, because there might be times when I would say, you can't associate with that person. Don't go around that person because that person scares me.
Right.
But forcing someone to associate with somebody they don't want to associate with, that's just a hard no for me.
Yeah. All right, let's go to more of your calls and your thoughts. We have Hank calling in from Arlington, Texas. Hank, you're on Free Talk Live.
How are y'all doing tonight?
Hey!
What's on your mind, Hank?
Welcome back.
Let's talk about those stupid fucking Jews.
Okay, then there he goes.
And
Hit that other one
was
for me,
a
would ya?
useless one.
There you go. All right. Well, he just got dropped off the air, and no one ever heard his voice.
Wow.
At least not in the radio world.
And that
the
was
poor
also
bastards on Twitch got to hear him, though.
That was also a horrible accent.
Do you think that was the same voice, or
same voice as what?
I don't know. The call before that did not sound like an authentic accent.
It didn't, but at least the last guy, it was definitely a different person.
I think the last guy chickened out if it was, or it was a legit call.
Yeah.
Could be.
The last caller, the previous call did sound like a fake, but at least he didn't say anything he couldn't say on the radio.
It's true.
So
points for that.
Going on with this article, the principal apparently made a statement that, we stick by our policy, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they said they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but they haven't considered the feelings of the girl who was trying to say no to the weird kid or whatever. For whatever reason, she didn't want to dance with him. Okay, and so her feelings don't count. Apparently, it's only the feelings of the individual who is asking for the dance that counts.
And imagine a situation where it's like somebody that you used to date, because kids do have like quasi relationships in grade school, and you've got an ex that you have to dance with.
855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can call and join in on the conversation.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Free Talk Live.
If I was freezing to death in the car with the keys on the floor, I'd still been charged in New York. In any case, so what happened with me was, they threatened me with 4.5 years in a state prison, and this is what led me to the ideas of liberty. That I say, this is crazy. I didn't hurt anybody. What's going through my head is, this can't happen. I have to stop them. I should just go out blasting.
Thanks for not doing it, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
I like hanging out with you.
It's going swimmingly. So this whole living thing. There's a lot to it. But when I got involved with the Libertarian Party, I was kind of looking. The idea was I was looking for something to die for, frankly, and I found something to live for. As I'm going forward, I'm finding things that I can do instead of getting myself killed. And this is, the gist of the story of how the Libertarian Party saved my life. That this was my introduction to all of these things.
Interesting.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Yes, this is Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Domo.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Free Talk Live.
Domo.
Where you can call and take over the airwaves. Our toll-free number, of course, is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. And in the studio tonight, it's myself, the Reverend Captain Kickass, and I'm joined by...
I'm Ian.
And Nobody.
And I wanted to tell you that Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com. We've been talking tonight about this article from Today, today.com, about a school in Utah that has a policy that if you're asked to dance at the 6th grade dance, you cannot say no. And there's a mother who's a bit upset with the whole thing and how it's gone down. She certainly... I think she's in the right. I would have an issue with that if
she's
my child
absolutely
was
in the
forced
right.
to dance with somebody that they didn't want to, made them uncomfortable, had said uncomfortable things to them previously. I'd be upset.
No, if I'd been there and some principal did that to my daughter, I'd be like, oh, no. Before she dances with him, you're going to dance with me, and you're not going to like it.
The mom says girls have to learn that they have the right to say no, and those around them have to respect that, Hobson wrote on Facebook. I'm not going to quietly stand by while my daughter and all of her classmates are being wrapped up in rape culture. No way. Dr. Rebecca Schrag-Hirschberg, a New York City-based clinical psychologist, agrees with Hobson and believes the rule is dangerous, quote unquote. Policies like this one not only overlook but completely fly in the face of what we need to be teaching young children of all gender identities about the importance of consent. And that's something that we tout here at Free Talk Live. Consent is the basis of all agreements. And without consent, then you are forcing your way upon it. And that is the moral argument, right?
Absolutely.
Well, they say in law that people under the age of 18 cannot consent to anything, which is this sort of school policy is almost the reverse of that. In this case, they're saying you have to consent to everyone that asks you to dance.
Exactly. Schrag Hirschberg told today, that's essentially the psychologist is saying now, it's saying that the child needs to say yes no matter how they feel as a blanket rule. I don't think it's a stretch to say that such a message is very much in alignment with rape culture and therefore very dangerous if perpetuated.
Yeah, I don't know what rape culture is, and I don't think that was what they were intending to do with this policy, but it's still outrageous.
I mean, rape culture to me is, and I used to completely poo-poo that term, and what happened to Weinstein, however it is, it made me think about it. And how many movies when we were growing up would somebody just grab a girl and kiss her, and she'd resist for a while and then kind of give in and get into it? And it's like, that to me is rape culture. That's saying it's okay to grab somebody and kiss them against their will, because they'll change their mind once they get into it.
Well, I don't think that was the intention here, was to promote rape. I think the intention here is to protect people's feelings. Yeah. That was the excuse here. Well, we don't want to have someone's feelings get hurt.
And it's the logical next step to having participation trophies for people to be participation trophies. You know?
Wow. The Canesville Elementary School in West Haven, Utah changed its policy saying kids must accept dance requests after a parent complained in 2018. So they made an adjustment to their policy after a parent complained, and now
another parent's complaining.
Parents complaining about
Guess
the
what?
adjustment.
You can't make everybody happy
that they made.
And this is just sad. I mean, this lady needs to get her daughter out of the school.
I agree. And I mean, I would say that about anybody.
You can't change this system. I mean, she could fight for she's 11 years old. She's still in elementary school, so she's probably graduating this year, would be my guess, because 11's like on the old side for fifth grade, I think. And so, you're not going to change the school's policy by the time you leave. So you might as well just figure on not going to government school in the future.
I'd agree, but I think it's good that she's coming forward, because other parents are going to hear about that, and hopefully they will think, I'm going to keep my kid home when the school has dances.
Well, here's what you do. If you are going to insist on sending your child to a government school, at least train them on how to handle so-called authorities. Like, look, if the principal or a teacher or any administrator or an aide or janitor or any adult at this school tells you to do something and you don't feel like it's right, you tell them no, and you keep saying no until they call me to come down and talk to them about it, and then I'll tell them no, and I'll pull you out of the school.
Right. But that's not how... that's not how they're indoctrinated. They're indoctrinated to
and that's the
automatically
thing
acquiesce to the authority.
Right.
And that's the thing, is you have to put in the extra effort to overcome that indoctrination. If for some reason you just can't keep, and some parents, just economically can't keep their kids at home. In some states, they would be put in jail if they did keep their kids at home.
For truancy and whatever.
But if you can keep your kids out of school or public schools, God, do it.
Let's go to your calls and your thoughts. We have John calling in from Houston, listening on the Free Talk Live app. John, you are on the air.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hi, John. You're on the air. Go ahead with your thoughts.
You guys are so fucking stupid.
There we go again.
Knock them out.
John, living up to your name. Think we'll just flush the John. We have more of your calls and your thoughts.
Not yet. Nope, not yet.
Coming up.
Yep.
But that was the end of the article here. It's pretty outrageous that folks can't recognize when consent should be implemented and respected, particularly in a school setting with children this young.
For those who need a cheat sheet, when consent should be respected is always.
Yeah. I wonder if these callers who've been all over our phones tonight and last night, I wonder if this is the so-called Bowl Patrol. because I recently reported on them.
Like BOWL?
Yeah, BOWL. I recently reported on this group of...
Are they potheads?
No, I have no idea what their drug choices are, but they are Nazis, apparently, or white supremacists.
Are they from Illinois?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know who they are.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I don't know where they're from. I don't know anything about them. All I know is they were apparently harassing Christopher Cantwell on his show, and then he tried to figure out who they were. And then he got into a conversation with one of them on Telegram and said he was going to have sex with the man's wife in front of their children. And that is what got the FBI to arrest Christopher Cantwell and search his home. So I reported on these Bull Patrol people.
If only it said
recently.
Consensual, specified.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just curious if it's them. Because it's a group of young males that basically have nothing better to do than call-in radio shows.
Or, it could well be angry incels who don't like our take on this story. Yes, people should be forced to have sex with me if they don't want to.
That could be it. You're right.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So they're going to have to wait till the next segment because we don't have enough time to take a call at this point.
Indeed. What do you think the next step is here, though?
What?
What do you think is going to happen with this story?
It's over.
I think she's going to win a lawsuit if she brings one, hopefully.
For how much, though? I mean, what are the damages?
What's it going to be worth? Right?
What's one dance with a creeper worth?
I mean, it would be injunctive relief she'd be seeking,
to change the policy.
More coming up. This is Free Talk Live.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
Tahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus doesn't grow on. So it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Tahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Tahibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. Shopsupertea.com.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California, May 29th to June 1st for the Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, an epic weekend of exploration into UFOs, ancient civilizations, crop circles, and so much more. Over 150 lectures, panels, workshops, and events with leading experts: Paul Hellyer, Linda Moulton Howe, Nick Pope, Emery Smith, Stephen Greer, Russell Targ, Doc Wallach, Leslie Kane, and more. Get your tickets at contactinthedesert.com. It's time to make contact. Contactinthedesert.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
That's right. You are in the right place for the live Monday night edition of Free Talk Live. We're here 7 nights a week from 7 until 10 Eastern Time. If you're in a different time zone, do some math or let your favorite search engine help you out. Your host tonight is myself, the Reverend Captain Kickass, and I'm joined by...
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And we were talking about this school in Utah that's... well, telling kids they have to accept every invitation to dance at the school dance. I think that's pretty preposterous. We've had a few of your calls and thoughts that were...
Are they going to go further with this and require all students to accept any invitation to go on a date as well?
Yeah, what about prom? How is that going to play out, right?
Well, I don't think they have an elementary prom. That's probably... But this could become a school board policy, right? Like if it's
sounds
just
like it
the
is.
school's policy right now, what if it becomes the entire district's policy?
Wow.
Because you wouldn't want to hurt someone's feelings.
No. You sure wouldn't. Well, let's take a stab at some more of your calls and your thoughts. Let's go with...
We can stab them?
Let's go with Jake. Jake in Queens, New York, listening on FTLlive.com. Jake, you're on the air.
Yeah, I got a question. My pastor said that, we can prove evolution isn't real through creationism because, well, there's monkeys and we're supposed to have evolved from monkeys into people. But if that's true, then why do we have black people? I mean, aren't they just half-evolved chimps?
Why are you so stupid? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What happened? Did you get dropped on the head?
You're representing any geniuses there, bro.
Get rid of him.
I tell you what, Jake, all humans, and thanks for the call, but no thanks, all humans are barely just not apes. Right?
It's true.
That's how I treat my fellow human beings. I realize that we are all barely just not apes, right? We're all just a little more intelligent than, a creature lower on the totem pole here on the planet Earth.
A little smarter, not as strong.
A little bit smarter, not as strong. A little bit more creative, I would say. We got the opposable thumbs. We learn how to build tools and
most
that kind
of us
of a
have
thing.
figured out that smearing feces is probably not a good way to spend our time, but I'm not sure about Jake.
Yeah, Jake might need some remedial training on that one.
Jake's Wuhan name is Hu Flung Poo. Going to more of your calls and your thoughts, we have an additional person named Jake.
That's not suspicious.
Jake calling in from Chicago, Illinois, apparently viewing us on YouTube. Jake, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I was curious, what's your opinion about Bernie Sanders that's running for president?
I don't require a ruler, so I don't see why the seat known as the presidency is even necessary.
He's a scum-sucking politician, like the rest of them.
Yeah, I would say that Bernie is a tanky. He may be less bad than most of the Democratic field, but all the Democratic field is pretty much a gang of monsters, with the possible exception of Tulsi Gabbard. So, being the best or the worst in that field, either way, it's not an honor.
Can I have my opinion against him?
Please.
I feel like we're all the same side.
I don't know. Can you? Go ahead. You're on Free Talk Live.
I feel like the third option we should vote for is National Socialist Movement, and I believe our economy.
So what is it? So you're like Bernie Sanders then? You're a lot like Bernie Sanders.
No. It's
well, you want the government to control the economy, right?
No, he's a communist.
Well,
he calls himself a socialist.
Yeah, and you sound like a national socialist.
What's the difference?
What's the difference between his socialism and your socialism?
Democratic socialism is radical left next to communism. National socialism is radical right.
Yeah, but what's the difference? You haven't explained what the difference is.
Outside of the nomenclature.
Well, National Socialist teachings is about family values and what can the people do to benefit the state.
Well, okay, but it's still
why
socialism.
would people want to benefit the state when the state is an oppressive organization that takes away their freedom? I mean, why? What's the good part of having other people tell you what to do, unless you're so weak-minded that you can't make up your own mind about what you should do? Why would you want somebody else to tell you?
That sounds like Democrat socialism of how you worded it. That's anti-gun. National socialism is pro-firearms and pro...
You're not even having a conversation. You didn't even listen to what he said.
So nothing he said had anything to do with guns.
He said things to you, and your response...
And the Holocaust is a lie.
Okay.
Pathetic.
Now, I'm going to spray a can of Jake Be Gone.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for that.
2 Jakes in a row. No fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude doesn't even know what he's talking about, and when nobody put some actual information in front of him, he completely ignored what he had to say and just went on with his talking points.
Well, maybe nobody told him what to think about what I said, and he couldn't figure it out himself. He needs a Fuhrer to tell him how to respond to
Probably
me.
so. Pathetic.
Would you? I mean, you're running for an office. Would you take Jake's vote?
Would I take his vote?
Yeah.
Yes, but I wouldn't do what
you.
he wants me to do.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you can't stop someone from voting for you.
It's like Ron Paul said, some white supremacist sent him $500, and somebody said, "Are you going to give it back?" And he's like, "Why would I give money to a white supremacist?"
I think both of the Jakes, as well as the other caller, in my opinion, might want to try some marijuana to sort of ease their burden, because they've obviously got something going on in the mind that they're uptight about all this kind of a thing.
Well, I think a lot of it is like Cantwell's whole thing is he can't find a woman who wants to have his children.
Oh, he can't?
And that seems to be a recurring theme with a lot of these people is they're incels. And they think if we can convince people that, white people are better than black people or whatever, then maybe somebody will want to date me because I'll be like the bottom of the barrel of white people.
So it just comes down to they need to get laid.
Legalizing prostitution, I think, would really improve the issue with incels and Nazis and that kind of thing.
If you're that hard up, take it from a man who knows. Learn a musical instrument. You want to make yourself instantly more attractive to the opposite sex.
And please don't do Nazi punk.
That's one thing you can do is take up a musical instrument. You got to get kind of good at it, right? Because if you're not, if you're not at least good at like one genre, you're not going to get respected for it. You might get some sympathy for like attempting to learn how to play it. That might get you some play, but outside of that.
Yeah. Could we replace the bumper music with the Dead Kennedys Nazi Punk Screw Off for the next segment?
I would if I could, but I believe that's canned and controlled at the board op level.
That central control.
Yes, I know. We need to decentralize all of the things.
Wow.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about children, though. minors, the legal under 18, that they are the last subsection of, well, we'll call it Western culture anyway, to like fight for their rights, right? Because they don't have any. They literally have none. If you think about it.
Well, no, they have rights because they're human beings, but they're not respected by the government.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of adults.
Yeah, and forcing somebody to go to a public school, that's no better than slavery.
I agree.
It's maybe they're not producing anything, but
it's forced indoctrination.
But nonetheless, they are forced to labor against their will. And in the process, I think it does more harm to their education than it does good.
I still remember, it's the whole like the bell ringing and you just react, oh yeah, time to go. You know what I mean? That whole Pavlovian response, snap your fingers. Like when I sort of came out of the cloud of statism, I looked back on that stuff and went, I never even realized how brainwashed I was.
Of course
at
not.
the time.
How could you?
And that's what I struggle with in trying to talk to statists, is how do you get them to realize, get them to even just question whether or not they've been brainwashed?
You got to plant seeds, and it takes time.
Yeah, it really is a hard thing to do, because of course you sound to them like you're brainwashed. So how can you determine which is which? And well, for me, a lot of that determination was made because the information that I believe is not the information that was pushed on me.
Right. I mean, I was able to look at facts and evidence, particularly when it came to what government does versus what people believe it's doing, and just go, oh, they are night and day. I mean, orders of magnitude of difference in those two particular items. And that's what started me on down the road. So 855, 450 free. We've got Marijuana Monday coming up. This is Free Talk Live.
You will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,586, silver at $16.68, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,669. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD, at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of Kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free Kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at SNLSnetwork.com. In the news, a peace deal between the United States and its once sworn enemy, the Taliban, has been signed in twin ceremonies, in which the U.S. has agreed to wind down the war in Afghanistan after more than 18 years of fighting that turned into the longest conflict in American history, and to withdraw all of its troops from Afghanistan. The Free Thought Project reports that in the historic signing ceremony with the top U.S. diplomat and the Taliban's second highest-ranking leader, the U.S. and the militant group agreed to begin to end America's longest war. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo met a Taliban delegation during a historic moment, which they shared a stage in Qatar's capital, Doha. Pompeo, who called it a momentous day, gave a list of pointers to the Taliban to follow to ensure success. The deal, signed by U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad and Taliban political chief Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, agrees to the complete withdrawal of U.S. and NATO troops within 14 months, contingent on the Taliban following through with its own side of the deal. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A mother is taking her fight to the Minnesota State Capitol so that her son with epilepsy can use CBD oil in case he has a seizure. The Mind Unleashed reports the worried mother expressed that her son has tried 3 different epilepsy medications, resulting in life-threatening reactions. However, the 2 things that safely and reliably work for him are medical marijuana and CBD oil. CBD oil is derived from the hemp plant, and it is similar to compounds that our bodies produce naturally called endocannabinoids. Cannabinoids aren't only found in the cannabis plant, they're also naturally occurring in other plants, but are found at a higher potency in cannabis. CBD oil offers the healing power of marijuana without the psychoactive effect of the chemical compound THC. CBD has shown promise as a treatment for conditions like epilepsy and anxiety in early research. If your job is working at a restaurant flipping burgers, you may soon find yourself replaced by a robot that works for $3 an hour. The Mind Unleashed reports the new robot is named Flippy and was developed by Miso Robotics, costing less to employ than a minimum wage worker. Currently, Miso Robotics charges an upfront fee of between $20,000 to $30,000 to install Flippy into restaurants. According to Digital Trends, Flippy is a burger flipping robot arm that's equipped with both thermal and regular vision, which grills burgers to order while also advising human collaborators in the kitchen when they need to add cheese or prep buns for serving. When Miso Robotics set out to create their first units, off-the-shelf robotic arms sold for upwards of $100,000. Today they're going for about $10,000 and are only getting cheaper. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new study released this week based on extensive psychological profiling of some of the world's most notorious serial murderers found that their homicidal instincts can be traced to a single incident in childhood when they were denied a toy that they really wanted.
Nearly all violent serial offenders, from John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer to the DC snipers, exhibited their first violent impulses shortly after being told as children that a video game was too expensive, or that they had a perfectly good Lego set at home and they could make do with that that?
Researchers found that an isolated occurrence in which a parent refuses to buy a stuffed animal or candy bar for their child can immediately trigger the development of sociopathic tendencies.
I was in such a blind rage that I went up to my room, sawed the heads off all my action figures, and ejaculated into their body cavities.
This was most notably the case with Jeffrey Dahmer, who began decapitating stray dogs and placing their heads on spikes shortly after being denied an Etch-a-Sketch.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live.
Hello.
Free Talk Live.
Hello.
Free Talk
Hello.
Live. Free Talk. Yes,
Hello.
this is Free Talk Live. 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You could call in and talk about whatever you like.
Almost.
Almost. And with you tonight in the studio, it's myself, the Reverend Captain Kickass.
And me, Ian.
And future governor of New Hampshire, nobody.
Nice. And it is Marijuana Monday, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But I wanted to say thank you to a very helpful person known as CleoCat. CleoCat is a gold amplifier. That means this person takes part in the advertise, market, and promote campaign that we run here at Free Talk Live. And what this is, it's a way for you to donate and help us get on more radio stations. Currently, I think something like 209 was the count that I got most recently. 209 radio stations carry some version of this show, and we couldn't do that without folks like CleoCat and their donations. We use this money specifically to advertise, market, and promote and get on more radio stations. So if you are a freedom lover, you want to spread the ideas of freedom, you like the content that we put out, you listen to us on a regular basis, please consider becoming an amplifier at amp.freetalklive.com. So, Marijuana Monday, what's that all about? Well, it's a little bit of a new segment.
Drugs.
That I like to throw in on Mondays. And this week, I've stumbled upon an article that tickled my fancy.
Now, did you stumble upon this on the Stumble Upon service?
No.
Okay, because that is a thing. I wasn't sure.
This was figuratively stumbled upon, not literally stumbled upon. The title, this is from greenrushdaily.com. How much weed does it take to overdose? No one has ever died of marijuana overdose yet, that we know of. But technically speaking, just how much weed would it take to overdose? Let us explain. Public opinion on marijuana is starting to change. The reason it's illegal is because the government still thinks cannabis can be dangerous.
Well, okay, I would beg to differ. I would say the reason it's still illegal is because there are a lot of people that the government hates, and they can use that law to get those people.
Correct. However, they haven't given us much reason to believe that cannabis can be dangerous. Drugs like heroin are illegal because they come with a risk of lethal overdose. On the other hand, no one has died of a marijuana overdose yet, probably because it would take an impossible amount of pot to overdose. We've seen a man take a 22-gram dab and live to tell the tale.
How? Is there a link to this?
I want to see this on film because I don't even know how many hits would that take?
Link.
Why didn't he just fall asleep before completing? I mean, unless the dabs were awful.
Grams. I mean, that's
22-gram dab and live to tell the tale.
3/4 of an ounce.
Right.
That's about
crazy talk.
That's about as much THC as anyone can get into their system in one sitting. So just how much weed does it take?
It would be one lying by the end of it. There's no more sitting.
Marijuana overdose rating. How do we decide whether someone could overdose from a particular substance? Well, a 1988 United States administrative law hearing found that drugs used in medicine are routinely given what is called an LD50. The LD50 rating indicates at what dosage 50% of test animals receiving a drug will die as a result of drug-induced toxicity. So they take a substance, they give it to a bunch of animals, and they come up with this LD50 rating based on who dies. The hearing also noted some researchers have attempted to determine marijuana's LD50 rating in test animals without success. Simply stated, researchers have been unable to give animals enough marijuana to induce death.
Now, if you're a scientist and you question these numbers and you think you can give me enough THC to kill me, I invite you to bring as much THC with you up to Keene, New Hampshire, and I would be delighted to repeat these tests with you. I will be your guinea pig.
I believe you would, and an enthusiastic one at that.
Oh, it's true. I'll work to get as much of that stuff as I can in my system.
As a result, researchers have been left to guess marijuana's LD50 or overdose rating. As of now, the estimate is that marijuana's LD50 is between 1 to 20,000 and 1 to 40,000. So how many joints would it take to overdose, right? Because that's really the question that most people will understand.
You'd end up dying from smoke inhalation before you overdosed.
You would think.
They have a number. You'd have to smoke 20 to 40,000 joints before dying.
Wow. Wow.
Can't be done.
20 to 40,000. Not only that, they'd all have to be well above average sized joints.
And in what period of time? Like, would you have like 3 years to do this?
I roll big joints, man.
Yeah.
Our judges say that's okay. They roll big joints too. One study found the average size joint to be 0.66 grams. Another study said that most joints...
that's kind of skinny. I'll generally roll like 0.8.
Another study said that most joints only have to have about 0.32 grams of weed in them. If you're planning to off yourself with weed...
Well, just to hold on, but there's only 1,440 minutes in a day. Okay, just to put this in perspective, right? Like, you couldn't even do 20,000 joints in a day. That's not even a possibility.
Well, so I don't know if it's saying 20,000 to 40,000 because it's written out.
It's saying 20,000 to 40,000. They don't mean 20 joints.
I mean, they could be really huge
20
joints,
to 40,000.
Wow.
It's not possible.
So yeah, there's 86,000 seconds, 86,400 seconds in a day. So you'd have to smoke a joint every 4 seconds in order to get that. And do they mean within the period of a day, or would it have to be within an hour to actually kill you? Because, usually LD50 is not calculated on a protracted time scale.
If all you're inhaling is smoke for the period of some number of minutes or hours, you will die from smoke inhalation because you haven't actually gotten any oxygen in your lungs.
The article continues.
This is not possible.
If you're planning to off yourself with weed, you're going to have to fatten up those joints and smoke fast. Each one of the 20,000 plus joints would need about 0.9 grams in it. Not to mention, researchers estimate you'll need to smoke them all in 15 minutes to die.
Oh, good Lord.
There you go. Okay.
That's 1,500 pounds of marijuana in 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're still much more likely if you're going to die from 1,500 pounds of cannabis, you're more likely to have it happen if a bale of it falls on your head. From off the top of a roof. I did pull up the video of the guy who supposedly did the 22 grams of cannabis
in one dab,
the largest dab. So it's a large crowd of people. Apparently, it was recorded in 2014. I presume in like Colorado or someplace like that. They're in some kind of a location. He's got a pretty crazy looking dab rig in front of him, and he's got an assistant. So the assistant just keeps on loading in whatever it is that they're using, wax or whatever. And so he just basically sits there and just chiefs on this thing the entire time. But the super majority of the vapor or smoke or whatever is going up into the air. Like, most of it is not going into his lungs. It's just being boiled as soon as it impacts.
That makes more sense to me, because the idea that you could actually have the lung capacity to inhale that much in any reasonable period of time is
those
insane.
Those big 5-gallon water bottles you see in like the water dispensers, right? The big blue ones. I did a gravity bong in a bathtub that was made out of one of those, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I mean, this dude is, there's no doubt he put a lot of effort into this. I mean, he's basically inhaling and exhaling constantly throughout a 4-minute long video, nothing but dab vapor constantly. So, he definitely that was all he was doing, and he's pretty taxed. I can see the aftermath here. He's definitely not feeling too good.
After judging the cannabis cup, I almost fell out.
855-450 free like freedom. Call in and join the conversation. How high are you?
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
free, it's talk, and it's live. It's Free Talk Live, everybody. The live call-in show on your radio or your internet stream, depending on how you're consuming our content. Our toll-free number, of course, is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. I'm the captain, and I'm your host, and tonight joining me is...
It's Ian.
And I am nobody. Dun, 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 dun.
I've turned it into a country song now.
A little bit. You got a little twang going there,
A little bit of
bro.
twang.
Get the steel guitar out.
Yeah.
I have before I met you, nobody, I had another name for somebody that was also nobody, but it was two words. It was Noah and Body.
Oh, interesting.
Noah Body. Right.
Interesting. I kind of like that. That's cool. It would be a lot easier to get a bank account with that name than it is with one name, nobody, because apparently even after Madonna and Prince, the banks are not prepared for me.
Yeah. You would think that, the mononyms or what do you call the names?
I think it's mononym.
Mononyms, yeah. You would think that they would catch on, because I have this question that I will ask about the hyphened names, okay? So you've got a couple, and they decide to hyphenate their last name. And then you've got another couple, and they also hyphenate their last name. And so they both have children. One has a boy, one has a girl, just for the sake of this argument. That boy and that girl meet and fall in love and decide to get married. What are they going to do? Have 4 words with hyphens? What if, what's that jersey going to look like if they play sports? Right? 4 hyphen names? Are they going to combine them all and manufacture some weird portmanteau name? Are they just going to choose the name that they like best? Are they going to make up something completely different?
Yeah, they riffed on that on the cartoon BoJack Horseman, where they had a character who was raised by a polyamorous family of 8 gay men, and she had 8 last names that she had to go through.
Were they hyphenated?
I don't know. I never saw it written.
Well, here's a Liberty update from LibertyCon. Don't miss these 2 very special debates. First, is government necessary? This debate will feature David Friedman, Milton Sun, and Timothy Sandefur. David will be arguing that government isn't necessary, while Timothy will be arguing that government is necessary. Second, does capitalism require government intervention? In this debate, Gene Epstein, the economics editor for Barron's, will debate Stephen Pearlstein of The Washington Post. Epstein will argue against intervention, and Pearlstein will argue in favor of it. Also, John Mackey, the Whole Foods CEO, will speak on conscious capitalism. Be a part of LibertyCon. LibertyCon is a unique Liberty convention, April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C., for people who want to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations for things like career advancement, business, or internship opportunities. Visit libertycon.com for more details on our incredible list of speakers, events, and student discounts. That's libertycon.com. Use code FTL for a $10 discount. And Ian, correct me if I'm wrong, Free Talk Live will be there, yes?
We will be broadcasting from the event. That's correct.
So if you're going to attend this thing, you can also stop in and say hello.
I might be there. I'm working on it.
Nice.
I'm thinking real hard.
So it's Marijuana Monday. We've been talking about this article from Green Rush Daily about just what would it take for a human being to have to overdose on marijuana, and apparently quite a lot. 20 to 40,000 extra large joints, all put down within 15 minutes, according to this.
Can't be done.
But nobody brought up a very interesting question. It's like, could dabs cause a marijuana overdose? And Ian, you brought up the link that was in this article to the man who did the 22-gram dab, saying allegedly saying that most of the smoke, or at least a lot of it, was spilling over. This article says, even with the potency of highly concentrated cannabis extracts, creating a lethal dose will still be tricky. Dabs are about 3 to 4 times more potent than regular weed. To overdose with dabs, you would still need hundreds of pounds of concentrate. Additionally, all of it would have to be consumed in a 15-minute span. So something about 15 minutes is the magic number to OD on an amazingly large quantity of THC. People have passed out from a fraction of a gram of wax, so you'd be out way before you could finish hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
That's what I've always imagined. The only people I know who have managed like unpleasant quantities of highness have done it through edibles.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you can eat a lot in one dose and it takes time to kick in, so you don't like go to sleep. But even that, it's been like an unpleasant experience, not a medical emergency.
Right. As a musician, I have been introduced to what some folks would call killer weed, right? The best, the cream of the crop, the top of the line. And I can tell you, I have smoked marijuana that I needed to lay down, that the room started spinning a little bit for me. I was drinking, too.
You were drinking?
Yeah, I was drinking, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Not a fair comparison there.
It has happened where I'm like, woo, I think I am a little too lit, guys. I gotta just lay down in a corner over here for a minute.
But did you die?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. I took a power nap and I was up in 5 minutes. You know, like okay, let's go.
Nice.
You know, ready to rock. So, yeah, no harm, no foul. This last paragraph is called "The Final Hit." The fact that marijuana can relieve chronic pain without risk of addiction leads us to wonder why the DEA insists on leaving it on schedule.
Because it can't be patented, and so they can't make obscene profits off it in big pharma.
Even with recreational marijuana states growing in number and Americans using more cannabis than ever before, no one has died from it. So is there an amount that can kill you? Yes. Can you ingest that amount in enough time to kill yourself? No.
But you can have a great time trying.
I don't know. It sounds exhausting.
Yeah, well, you don't want to try too hard.
Yeah.
Challenge not accepted in this case.
That doesn't sound like fun.
I'm turning this challenge down. So I challenge you to ingest, smoke, absorb through osmosis enough, weed, THC to kill you. I mean, challenge not accepted.
I don't really even want to smoke it anymore these days. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or because it's legal now and it's just like not cool anymore.
I really haven't been smoking as much as I used to.
I like the edibles.
Either.
It's not like I don't like to get high. I still like the edibles. But it's like, smoke.
You are shielded as a person when it's in the black market, as opposed to when it's above the board in the regular market, right? I experienced this in Seattle, and you realize just how not shielded you are. Like you
what do
might
you mean
think
by that shielded.
You might think that you're in the little pot club. You and your stoner friends are like, we're the outcasts of society or whatever.
Oh, when it's illegal, you mean?
Yeah, and then when it's legal and you just go to the weed store with everybody else.
In there.
Yeah, there's, grandma's in there, the kid next door, the guy across the street, the trucker, the cabbie, all of the village people are in there. It's a wide variety cross-section of society. And you realize that this is, human beings are drawn to this, and it's of no consequence other than entertainment.
Well, I've known
value.
that for decades, that this is, cannabis is everywhere.
When
the
I
facts
sold
back
weed,
you up.
I really wanted to hit the geriatric market.
855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live. More coming up.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dinovite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies,
grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it.
And the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dinovite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic.
And Cindy Lukasevic.
Inviting you and your pets to Dinovite.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was
kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
That's right. It's the live Monday night edition of Free Talk Live. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. I am your host tonight. I am the captain, and I'm joined with...
Yeah, it's Ian.
And the nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
Glad to have you guys here tonight.
It would be boring alone, wouldn't
every
it?
night. Solo Talk Live? Yeah, I mean, but it is a call-in show, so perhaps the listeners could fill in for a host. If an emergency came by, I think a guy could roll solo, but
not as much fun.
It's not as
Has there ever been a solo show where only one host showed up?
I've had to do it for a segment or whatever at the beginning because somebody was late or
stuck in traffic.
Okay.
Well, the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at DivvyProject.org. That's DivvyProject.org.
Every time somebody says master nodes, I want to say, no master nodes, no slave nodes.
Nice. We're going to go directly to your calls and thoughts. We have Desiree calling in on our Discord line over at discord.lrn.fm. Desiree, you are on Free Talk Live.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's my first time here. I've only listened in a couple of times, so I've heard a lot of discussion about politics, but I don't really know about how the format works or anything.
So you must never have listened to talk radio before, and welcome, Desiree. It's nice to have you here.
Indeed.
How it works is you call in and you talk about what's on your mind, and we respond to you. And if you say something dumb, we'll tell you. And if you say something smart, we'll tell you that too. But it's just our opinion.
I expect she'll be pretty intelligent. I've met Desiree. She was at the Porcupine Freedom Festival this year.
That's always a good
sign. She hung out at the NEPay Dome with some of the NEPay folks.
Nice.
And she's got a YouTube channel and also a Twitter called Crypto Ramble. So maybe you could tell our listeners a little bit about you, and then you could talk about why you're calling.
Before you do that, though, Desiree, I will say the only rules that we really have are, no cussing. Don't say the words because we're on actual broadcast radio. So, no potty mouth. You can, you can say all the substitute words, but not the actual words. Okay.
You farging asshole.
So what's on your mind, Desiree?
I just want to say, first of all, thank you. I'm not sure who was just speaking. I'm sorry, I don't know Ian's voice.
That was nobody.
There's three people here that you got. I'm Ian, then nobody's over there, and then Captain Kickass answered the phone.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. Ian, nobody, and Captain Kickass. Got it. Well, that was a really great intro. I wanted to come on Free Talk Live since about last year. Because I met Ian and I think Mark, I can't remember the other person's name, and they were telling me about Free Talk Live, and I think I stumbled upon a few videos on YouTube about, like the Free State Project, and I think I saw a video of Ian in court defending something. I can't remember what it was
like
about,
Ian.
but it...
I've been there a few times.
Probably defending himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did want to come and talk about Crypto Ramble. It's specifically what it sounds like a crypto-related channel, and I talk about privacy coins. I have a book that's called The Privacy Coin Guide. I wanted to come on here and let people know about it. And it goes over the history of privacy coin technology, starting with Bitcoin. And I'm sure most of you will know it's not anonymous, and then going into...
A lot of people misunderstand that, though. Speaking of court, I was in federal court this last week, and there was a guy testifying. He was a cop who works with the FBI, and he basically testified that Bitcoin was anonymous and that people use it to hide their money. And it was obvious that he had no idea what he was talking about, but yet he acted as though he did. And this was under oath testimony that this guy was giving in a federal court hearing. When he was really talking about what Monero can do and what other privacy coins can do. So, I mean, maybe you could give our listeners, and keep in mind that this isn't a cryptocurrency show, even though we do talk about cryptocurrency often. We always have to keep in mind that our listeners may be tuning in for the very first time tonight, right? So, like, there may be somebody just getting into their car at the airport and, somewhere in the United States, turning the key in the ignition and hearing us for the first time talking about cryptocurrency, and they have no idea. So, I mean, starting, with the basics here, Bitcoin started in 2009. As you pointed out, it's not an anonymous platform. It is entirely traceable. So when did that start to change? Was it Monero that was the first privacy coin? Which was the first one? Do you know?
I'm not sure that I know that. Wait, the book's right here beside me. I could look it up. Well, I got into a Twitter argument with someone recently about whether or not Bitcoin is anonymous. The term that they use to describe it is pseudo-anonymous. Mm-hmm. So you have different wallet addresses and you send information back and forth. And that information is really like who has how much money and how much they sent to another person. And then that's just tracked over time. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that it's anonymous because the address that each person has isn't necessarily linked to them. But I was saying that, no, it's pseudo-anonymous. And, pseudo usually means
kinda.
Not really,
yeah. Sort of.
So it's not actually because it can be traced back to the individual most of the time. Because when people buy cryptocurrencies, they usually go on an exchange and they They do a lot of KYC, which is know your customer. So you have to provide your ID, driver's license, that kind of stuff. Kind of like when you go to a bank and they want to know who you are for most services. So in that sense, it's not anonymous because eventually you can trace who sent money to who, and they can trace it back to you or whoever initiated a transaction, or when there was first an exchange from fiat to Bitcoin, or going from Bitcoin back to fiat. And then I can tell you in a second.
Well, and then there's people who are buying things on exchanges that are privacy coins. So there are some exchanges that have privacy coins like Monero. So if I buy Monero, I used to have a Kraken account, so I purchased some Monero through that. But as soon as I send that Monero off to the first destination, the trail goes cold at that point, because they may know which address I told it to send it to, so they know that. But after that, there's no more tracing it, because there's just no way, unless they can somehow crack the Monero system, which so far has yet to have been done, that it's completely off the radar of any federal agency or any Chainalysis company, anybody that would want to spend any kind of money or time. They basically can't do that with Monero. And one of the things that sets it apart from some of the other privacy coins is Monero doesn't have a public way of sending. So some privacy coins like Zcash, you can choose to send a public transaction, so it is not private, or you can send a private transaction. And what they've said about Zcash is, like, I don't know if it was like 80 or 90%, but a super majority of transactions are just public. They're not using the privacy aspects of this so-called privacy coin. Whereas Monero, there is no public option, so you are always sending a completely private transaction
by
with Monero.
default. Right?
Yeah. And the other thing that's interesting about Monero is we interviewed one of their key programmers years ago. Fluffy Pony is his name. I think he might have stepped down recently, but I forget what I was going to say about it. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say that Monero was, I think, the first one to come up, because they're based off of a white paper called Cryptonote. I don't want to get too technical. Oh,
that's right. Hold on, Desiree. If you want to stick with us, we can bring you back here. Yeah. No, you don't have to apologize. Just hang on. We'll bring you back here in just a moment. That was what I was going to say. Was Monero was also different because they didn't start with the Bitcoin source code. It wasn't a fork of the Bitcoin code. It was something original. That's another thing that makes it different.
More coming up. Free Talk Live.
Message and data rates may apply.
Help! Seriously, I'm too young for hair loss.
My hairline keeps creeping back. Receding?
I got this bald spot. It's thinning everywhere.
I'm gonna have to give up and shave it.
Dude, put down the razor, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is about to give you your real hair back permanently. Don't ignore the signs of hair loss. Bosley is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals all the signs, and a free gift card to anyone who texts KIT88 to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Using the latest technology, Bosley's solution to hair loss is permanent and protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Plus, since Bosley has new non-surgical options, you owe it to yourself to text now for an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off, no matter what level of hair loss you have. Text KIT88 to 85850. KIT88 to 85850.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771. For your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgoristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agorist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar. and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agoristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agorist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agoristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agoristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Yes, welcome back to Free Talk Live, the live Monday night edition. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And I am your host tonight. I am the Dr. Reverend Captain Kickass, and joining me tonight is...
I'm Ian.
And I'm nobody.
And are you 100% sure you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubts?
I have doubts.
Tom Young is the author and founder of the CFO Project and can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. With the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. So don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead of building a plan, Tom can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and as little government involvement as possible. His new book is The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project. It'll show you how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. You can get your free copy now at cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. Get your free copy of The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project at cfo-project.com.
And we were discussing a little bit about what's known as privacy coins for our listeners just tuning in. This is related to cryptocurrency. I believe most of the world has heard the word Bitcoin by this point in space and time. And Bitcoin in and of itself, the original invention, is not a fully privacy coin, and that's to say that it can be traced, or at least the transactions between wallets can be traced, and ultimately that means that there is a trail left and it's pseudo-anonymous, as they say. And so we had a caller call in, and I believe, Desiree, you're still with us, yes?
Yes.
All right. And she actually does a bit of talking about privacy coins and that type of a thing. So let's pick up where we left off, Desiree.
Yeah, we were talking about which was the first privacy coin, and I believe you're right that it was Monero, and they came out. Bitcoin was in 2008, and then 2012 came CryptoNote, which is what Monero is based off of. But that at that point only allowed you to hide the transaction amount. But for a coin to be fully private, you have to hide the transaction amount, also who the sender is and who the receiver is. But that didn't come along until many years later in about 2013, 2014, and Dash came in between that, so after Monero, and then there are a whole bunch of other coins that came out afterwards, but we didn't really have full privacy where a coin could be like Cash, where you can't at all say when you get $1 in your hand who had it the past 10 transactions. And that wasn't possible until 2013 and 2015. So
and it was Monero that
Monero was the first
right.
one,
So it was Monero that changed all that. Dash, you mentioned them. They had a mixing service that was sort of built into Dash, but that's just a way to obscure transactions. It's not truly a privacy system. It's just kind of a way to make the old Bitcoin system a little bit more difficult to track. So Monero really took it to the next level.
It is a privacy system, but it's not as good as Monero.
Right.
So I would say that it is, but it's just not. Monero is like one of the best ones out there. And I would say that the zero coin, zero cash ones are also good, but I'm personally not a fan of zero cash just because they have their trusted setup thing going on. So you have to put trust in the developers.
So what coin are you all excited about at this point? Who's the top dog in your mind?
Well, I am very biased, but the top dog for me is a coin called Particle, which is relatively unknown. And it uses very similar technology to what Monero uses, which is something called Ring CT, where you hide the transaction and the sender and the receiver. But it's built on top of Bitcoin and it's proof of stake. So it's very different. But that's not really the special thing about it. The more special thing about it, which is something that I did a presentation on at Liberty Forum about a month ago, is that they have created a decentralized private marketplace that uses the Particle coin as the layer behind it. So I think that's really exciting. And most people immediately go to think about darknets, etc., but that's not really how the project is marketing itself. But
they couldn't possibly market themselves that way because they'll get in trouble if they do that. Now, is it kind of like Open Bazaar? We've talked to the guys behind Open Bazaar in the past, and that is a decentralized marketplace that allows anyone to kind of put up their own digital storefront and accept various different cryptocurrencies. I don't know if they've got it. It's been a while since I've been on Open Bazaar. I kind of went when they launched it and checked it out, and it was kind of buggy, and then they've ironed some of the bugs out, and supposedly it's better, but I haven't really gone back. But it seemed like a pretty cool idea. Is that sort of what you're talking about, but except just with this one privacy coin?
It's the same concept, but in practicality, it's different. One, because Particle has its own cryptocurrency, so it's a blockchain, whereas Open Bazaar doesn't have its own blockchain. And also, it doesn't use any third-party moderators. It tries to do something called mutually assured destruction escrow, where it uses game theory. So if there's a buyer and seller that have a dispute, because they both put up extra funds and they both want to get their funds back, they're incentivized to behave honestly towards each other. So I would say the biggest differences are the blockchain and also the no third-party moderator. There is a governance system in that if a certain threshold is reached, then an item will be removed if enough people flag it. But that's it. It's truly decentralized. I don't want to go too much into it, but there's a foundation in Switzerland that kind of acts as a treasury and holds funds, but they're nonprofit and they don't actively, oversee some of the development, but they're separate from the governance of the marketplace itself.
Do you have a URL for Particle Coin? Because that sounds actually very interesting to me.
It is. Most people find it interesting when they hear about it. It's Particle, but not E at the end. So PARTICL.io. That's the, yeah.
So it's got the trendy tech name, missing a letter, and it's got the .io.
But the question is, can it also act as a wave?
That's a science joke.
It's true.
Science. Yeah. Here on Free Talk Live.
So how did there's a bunch of privacy coins out there. What was it that brought this one to your attention? Are you involved in the creation of it, perhaps? What's your relationship to this coin?
Well, one of the advisors reached out to me because I also do some political stuff, and they saw my videos and they said, do you want to help us make content for this project? And I said, yes, because it was privacy related. So I haven't for like a year, but I did work with them for about a year also in 2018, where I was doing videos for them. So that's how I got involved. Cool. But now I'm just a community member. When I presented, it was the community just funded me to go because I was like, this is a crowd that is probably going to be interested in what this project is offering rather than just going to conferences and just showing it to people to hope they invest, etc. And it wasn't actually built, like it started in 2014, a very long time ago, under a different name actually. And the development wasn't complete to have something ready to use until fall last year. So that's when it could actually be shown to people to download and use the client.
Do you know what the original name of it was?
Yes, it was called Shadow Cache.
I think I might have heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, if people want to find out more about you, Desiree, how do they find you? Do you have a website or a, channel, anything?
Yeah. Yes. CryptoRamble, that's my handle everywhere. CryptoRamble.com is the website. If you want to get the book, it's CryptoRamble.com/guide. It's also on Amazon. And I'm on Twitter at CryptoRamble. So just look up CryptoRamble. If you're interested in my politics, I have another channel called Just Thinking Out Loud. I very recently did a video called Is Libertarianism Practical? Which might be interesting to you guys to listen to on
Is
on
it true
channel.
that you might be moving to New Hampshire as part of the New Hampshire Liberty migration?
I would really like to. I'm looking for work, and I there are a lot of things that have to fall into place, but I am trying to do that. Yes,
because you're in New York right now, is what I understand, and that's like the least free place that you could possibly be,
right?
And the least crypto friendly, and like the most anti-crypto state of all of them. So
do you have a license to encrypt?
Yeah, New York sucks. In terms
Well, hey, great hearing from you here tonight. Feel free to check in with us anytime if you got something cool to share with our audience. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Desiree.
Always great to hear from people.
I am a big fan of the privacy coins. I don't understand really why that seemed to have been a thing that needed to be developed a bit later after the technology matured.
You feel like it should have started with privacy?
I do, actually.
Well, one reason is that it's hard enough to get people to envision what's going on the blockchain if they can see it.
Right.
True. And imagine debugging a privacy coin where you say, my transaction didn't work. Well, what was it? I don't know. It should be in the tangle somewhere, though.
Where'd it go? We can't tell.
Where did it go? I don't know. 855-450-FREE. Like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can call in and talk about whatever you want. You don't have to talk about what we're talking about. Feel free to bring up whatever you want and take control of the airwaves. More coming up. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward Liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the Liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,586. Silver at $16.68. And Bitcoin is trading around $8,669. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, a peace deal between the United States and its once sworn enemy, the Taliban, has been signed in twin ceremonies, in which the U.S. has agreed to wind down the war in Afghanistan after more than 18 years of fighting that turned into the longest conflict in American history, and to withdraw all of its troops from Afghanistan. The Free Thought Project reports that in the historic signing ceremony with the top U.S. diplomat and the Taliban's second highest-ranking leader, the U.S. and the militant group agreed to begin to end America's longest war. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo met a Taliban delegation during a historic moment, which they shared a stage in Qatar's capital Doha. Pompeo, who called it a momentous day, gave a list of pointers to the Taliban to follow to ensure success. The deal, signed by U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad and Taliban political chief Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, agrees to the complete withdrawal of U.S. and NATO troops within 14 months, contingent on the Taliban following through with its own side of the deal. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. A mother is taking her fight to the Minnesota State Capitol so that her son with epilepsy can use CBD oil in case he has a seizure. The Mind Unleashed reports the worried mother expressed that her son has tried 3 different epilepsy medications, resulting in life-threatening reactions. However, the 2 things that safely and reliably work for him are medical marijuana and CBD oil. CBD oil is derived from the hemp plant, and it is similar to compounds that our bodies produce naturally called endocannabinoids. Cannabinoids aren't only found in the cannabis plant, they're also naturally occurring in other plants, but are found at a higher potency in cannabis. CBD oil offers the healing power of marijuana without the psychoactive effect of the chemical compound THC. CBD has shown promise as a treatment for conditions like epilepsy and anxiety in early research. If your job is working at a restaurant flipping burgers, you may soon find yourself replaced by a robot that works for $3 an hour. The Mind Unleashed reports the new robot is named Flippy and was developed by Miso Robotics, costing less to employ than a minimum wage worker. Currently, Miso Robotics charges an upfront fee of between $20,000 to $30,000 to install Flippy into restaurants. According to Digital Trends, Flippy is a burger flipping robot arm that's equipped with both thermal and regular vision, which grills burgers to order while also advising human collaborators in the kitchen when they need to add cheese or prep buns for serving. When Miso Robotics set out to create their first units, off-the-shelf robotic arms sold for upwards of $100,000. Today they're going for about $10,000 and are only getting cheaper. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
In what medical authorities are calling one of the worst ointment complications in White Plains Hospital's history, area girlfriend Caroline Nagler was rushed to the ER this week after suffering an extreme overdose of scented lotion. With a blood lotion level of 0.45, hospital sources confirmed that Nagler had rubbed onto her body 4 times the lethal limit of shea butter, green tea cleanses, and naturally soothing mineral therapies.
Even putting aside the sheer level of lotion Miss Nagler had on her person when she arrived at the ER, this was an especially lethal combination she was using. She was mixing scented moisturizers, age-defying serums, and even some harder stuff like jojoba and essential fruit extracts. Frankly, she's lucky to be alive.
In other news, Beijing's air solidifies. A Delta Airlines counteragent assures a man he will never see his family again. And a mannequin must think he's some pretty hot. They say if you love something, let it go. But how could we possibly leave you behind after being blessed with a relationship as unique and complex as this one? For more, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
855 450 free. 855-450-3733. That number again, 855-450 free like freedom. It's our telephone number here at Free Talk Live, where you can call in and take control of the airwaves, talk about whatever's on your mind. We are into the third hour of this program tonight, and we come to you every day, 7 days a week, from 7 until 10 Eastern. In the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And we are here to talk about all sorts of fun stuff, including whatever you want to bring up. But I wanted to tell you about the Edge wallet. Since I relocated to New Hampshire and have been, thrown feet first into the pool of buying stuff and doing business with Bitcoin, Edge wallet has been my savior. It is my favorite cryptocurrency wallet. I love it because I can exchange for different types of currency right within the wallet, and I can choose if I want to use exchanges that require KYC, that's Know Your Customer, or I can choose an exchange that doesn't require that, all within the wallet. It's pretty badass. The Edge wallet is available for both the iOS and the Android system, of course. You can buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies. It's user-controlled. You own your money. It uses private keys, and it's auto-encrypted and backed up with just a username and password, so you don't have to memorize these 24 silly words in order to gain access back to your own money. So I love it. It supports BTC, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar, and many more. It's got a veteran team building since 2014 with the tagline, Secure Your Freedom. You can find out more at edge.app. That's edge.app.
I used mine today.
On your breakfast?
I did.
Or dinner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Your
all at the same time.
Lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever that is.
Breakfast for
your
dinner.
Meal.
Yep.
Food.
Your grub, your nourishment, your sustainability. We are going to shift gears a little bit. We have been talking a little bit. We had an article on Marijuana Monday about how much marijuana would it take for a guy to actually kill himself, and it turns out it's, well, basically impossible.
Yeah.
But you had a follow-up to that with a different sort of article.
Well, there's bad news for the folks in Georgia. You've seen the trends across the United States over the last decade, plus for decriminalization, medical cannabis, even full-on legalization in several states. I think we're up to like 8 to 10 U.S. states are now legal states at various different levels of legality. And so, it seems like there's a trend here, right? Things are going in a certain direction, but the folks in Georgia in the State House, they're pushing back. According to the story at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Mark Neese reporting that police across Georgia would be empowered to arrest people for possession of small amounts of green leafy substances, even if they can't tell whether it's illegal marijuana or legal hemp, according to a bill that has passed the State House Committee on Tuesday.
So if we're going to arrest you for our cops not understanding botany.
They're going to err on the side of an arrest.
So if they can't identify whether it's marijuana or hemp, what if they can't tell if it's either? What if they're like that kid I sold oregano to in high school, actually junior high school?
Well,
can they arrest you for kitchen spices?
Yes, they can.
They're already taking your money to pay their salaries. You would think the least they could do is give them a remedial botany class.
Well,
right?
you should know, nobody, that if you sell oregano as though it is marijuana, that is a crime, because then it is purported marijuana, and you got popped for purported LSD once upon a time.
Yes, it's true. It actually turned out to be 2CI, much to my surprise.
You can get arrested for selling a not drug.
That's right. If you purport it
if you say it's a drug,
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you sell baking soda as cocaine, that's still a crime.
Still a felony.
That should be a crime. It's
fraud.
If that's the one drug law that it should be illegal to say something is cocaine and sell it when it's not.
Even if it should be a crime, it shouldn't be a jailable crime. That's you've ripped somebody off, so you owe them in that particular case.
Right. Yeah.
I would rather see people doing some sort of restorative justice. Restore the victim, and then you don't have to worry about victimless laws because you think I shouldn't be smoking weed. Great, I'll pay myself $1 million in damages.
So here's the detail on this bill. It would make it a crime to transport hemp plants without paperwork showing that the hemp was produced under a farming or processing license. Violators would face up to a year in jail or a $1,000 fine for possession of less than an ounce, the same penalty as misdemeanor marijuana
do
possession.
your papers have the papers? Do your plants have the papers?
That's right.
Now, did you say that was a felony then?
Misdemeanor.
Okay, because it sounds like a misdemeanor penalty. That's
it's misdemeanor. Yeah,
okay,
the House Agriculture Committee approved the legislation on a voice vote. With only 2 representatives opposing it, the bill House Bill 847 could receive a full vote soon. The proposal comes after the General Assembly approved hemp farming last year, allowing people to grow and manufacture the plant to make CBD oil, a popular health product that's currently imported to Georgia from other states. So, they did the right thing in legalizing hemp, but now they're saying that, well, if you don't have your papers, then you're going to jail for hemp.
Which implies that they don't have decrim, they don't have...
Not at all.
No, so not only do you have to have
medical,
your papers, but then whatever you're carrying also has to have papers.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if you can carry a bag of flour or if you have to have paperwork to prove that it's not cocaine.
Right.
Prosecutors and police say they need a way to enforce marijuana offenses after several metro Atlanta cities and counties stopped making arrests for low-level marijuana offenses.
Good.
Hemp and marijuana look similar, and officers would need a test to determine whether the substance is illegal.
They're basically saying they're saying their officers are morons, is what they're saying.
Well, I mean, they do look similar.
I mean, you can't tell. Like, I've been presented. I've had people come to me and say, "Look, I bought this weed. It looks good. It smells good, and it doesn't get you high. And I don't understand what's going on." And I'd smoke some with them. It would be like, well, I think you've got hemp here.
Yeah.
Because it looks good, it smells good, but it doesn't get you high.
If you treat this is Pete Skandalakis, the executive director for the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia. They're a fun bunch. He says, quote, "If you treat any leafy substance as hemp, you're decriminalizing marijuana in this state. And I don't think that's what the legislature wants." Critics said lawmakers shouldn't
what the people want.
Yeah, shouldn't make hemp a crime, and they worried that police could interpret the legislation broadly to prosecute possession of CBD oil as well as raw hemp plants. Maisie Lynn Causey, lobbyist for the Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, pointed out that if police are truly concerned about enforcing misdemeanor marijuana possession, they should spend the money and time needed for lab tests of THC content. She said, quote, "What's happening here is the criminalizing of a legal substance. What this bill does is it treats hemp as marijuana for the purposes of prosecution."
Okay, just a quick message to the Georgia legislature. You lost the Civil War. You won't admit that. Now you've lost the war on drugs. Cut your losses.
Yeah.
Yes, it's time to officially congratulate drugs on winning the war on drugs.
Without even killing anybody.
Drugs won. Yep.
They say that the bill's approval is necessary so hemp farming can begin in Georgia. According to its sponsor, a Republican from Lake Park, the legislation also brings Georgia into compliance with federal regulations and clarifies that greenhouses can grow and sell hemp. Tom McCall, agricultural chairman and Republican, said, "It's crunch time in Georgia. We should have had this done several months ago. The greenhouse people are getting antsy. The farmers are getting antsy.
We got to get our revenue."
The people that want to be locked up for a harmless plant are getting antsy.
Opposition did come from a state representative who is also a Republican, Scott Turner, who said police could seize the assets of people in possession of hemp as they do for those suspected of marijuana.
Oh, now they're going to take your stuff, too, when they bust you.
Oh, yeah, well, asset forfeiture, and they don't have to prove anything for that.
Ass hat forfeiture.
He says, "We're treating it as if it's a criminal product. We have the ability to do a test. We're choosing not to. Why aren't we just taking the steps necessary to establish the criminal behavior on a product that's actually illegal?" Or, better question, why don't you just end prohibition on cannabis and forget all this crap?
Just give it up, you hayseeds.
I don't understand it. 855 450 free, like freedom. This is Free Talk Live. Give us your calls and your thoughts. More coming up.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Our history classes start teaching the Constitution around 1776 or even later. The foundation of our Constitution goes deeper than that. Without examining the context that gave America its principles and its founding documents, we cannot understand the foundation of our liberty and our constitutional republic. Liberty First University teaches online classes in a way that all ages find compelling and understandable, from middle school to law school. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Oh, wow, man. Hello, yes, this is Free Talk Live, coming to you live from our Keene, New Hampshire studios. I'm going to not be able to keep this accent up for very much longer.
Yeah, bloody hell.
As it sort of fades away and loses its interest. 855 450
It's hard to
free.
do accents over a long period of time.
I can do the like southern accent pretty much all the time.
Yeah, well, you live down there,
I
son.
did, and I picked it up rather quickly as well. But our number here
It ain't complicated.
is 855 450 free, like fried chicken. That's 855.
You're doing better than that first caller.
450. Our callers do have an impact on me, I must say. Some good, some not so good. But we are here tonight talking about all sorts of things. And for years, libertarians of all stripes have wanted a directory of liberty-minded businesses, and we're helping build one. It's called Liberty.menu. Now, Liberty.menu is a tool for your community. At its core, it's a directory for events, businesses, and digital content, and more. Listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a bit of a social network so you can connect and share with others. Use of Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. So if you're a statist, you are not welcome at Liberty.menu. Put your voluntarist ideas into action at Liberty.menu and use code FTL to get a special badge. That's Liberty.menu. And there's some good stuff out there. I was there recently.
Nice.
We have been talking, it's Marijuana Monday. We've had a couple of articles about the subject of marijuana.
Ganja.
And we were talking most recently about the state of Georgia. Speaking of the South, where they say dog and spell it D-A-W-G, dog. Apparently Georgia doesn't like marijuana and wants to ramp up the caging of people for carrying a plant in their pocket.
They're Cajun Cajuns.
Well, they've already got it illegal to have cannabis, marijuana there, but they have now made, or they're working on a bill that would make it illegal to have hemp if you don't have a license or a permission slip to have hemp. So you would then get caged for as long as you would get caged for having hemp, which doesn't have any THC in it, simply because it looks like marijuana, and the police would rather not try to figure out the difference.
Wow.
That's
pretty much the story.
That's so metal. They're like locking people up even if they don't break the law.
Well, they would be breaking the law if the law gets passed, and it has so far passed a committee in the State House.
Well, that's a very bad committee.
Wow.
Well, yes.
Something that rhymes with committee. Committee.
Yes.
Yes. We can't say
Starts
that.
with an S.
It's a horrible committee.
Right.
Yes.
A stinky committee.
I'm not down with said committee.
Me neither. But there's not much else to say. I mean, look, Georgia not going to be one of the not even going to be in the mid-pack of states that legalizes cannabis. I think they're going to be pushing it to the very end. Although it does look like the Atlanta cities, that suburbia kind of area, is reducing their war on cannabis. They have stopped arresting people for it. So that's good news.
Yeah, that is good news, I guess. Well, to segue out of Marijuana Monday, I mean, what do you do? What do folks like to do when they do the marijuana, right? They generally get the munchies. They want to watch some movies. They want to entertain themselves in some way, right? Sure. Well, I've been a part of groups who have done things like board games or other, live and in-person games, card games and that type of thing. And I stumbled on this Kickstarter page for a game called Extortion. And this is a debate game of presidential sabotage. And you can find this over at Kickstarter.com. They've only reached $551 of their $3,000 goal, but this is only about, I think, a couple of weeks old. Max.
Seems like a reachable goal.
Yeah.
What are they trying to do?
Extortion, bringing people together to argue. Convince the other players that you make the best leader by talking them into voting for you.
But I don't want to be your leader.
Think you can be president of the United States? Ever think you'd make a great president?
No.
Well, you want to get ready for the 2020 election by practicing your debate skills? Do you enjoy laughing with your family and friends? Then we have the game for you. What's in the box? 100 blackmail cards. 100
As in the
prompt
word
cards.
blackmail, not two words.
BLACKMAIL.
Right.
Cards. 100 prompt cards, 8 red candidate cards, and 8 blue candidate cards. No, they made no consideration for libertarians or anarchists.
No gold cards.
If you this is all the pledging stuff.
So what was it that was interesting to you about this? Because it sounds awful.
Extortion is a 3 to 8 player party game where you try to convince other players that you make the best president by talking them into voting for you. Players go head to head in debating a specific topic, and they give some examples of the topic.
If you will vote for me, I promise to sit around the White House smoking weed and do nothing except sign pardons.
That's a pretty good one.
How would you respond to these? If the other players like your response the best, you'll be voted to become the next president. Seems simple, right? Oh, we almost forgot to tell you about the blackmail. Because, politics isn't really complete unless there's some blackmail involved, right?
You got to have the Epstein aspect.
Each time 2 players are randomly chosen to go head-to-head, they must trade blackmail cards. When giving their response, they have to adhere to the demands listed on the blackmail card they're given or forfeit the round. Think you have what it takes? First player to win 3 debates is dubbed the president. And remember, all is fair in love, war, and politics. So the setup is you get some cards. Each player is dealt a candidate card. Each player is dealt 2 blackmail cards. The debate prompts are stuffed and placed face down.
I don't know if we need the instructions on how to play the game.
There's a bit that tells about how the blackmail works, and that's the part that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find that. The candidates whose numbers are wrong, the second player agrees to argue on the candidates must adhere to the blackmail, or they automatically lose. They give an example.
Well, you didn't prepare for this one, Captain.
Yeah. We're going down with the ship here.
Yep, we sure are. We sure are.
Well, it sounds okay, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really attract me. I don't really want to try to be anyone's president. So
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be a governor, but that's just because if done right, it would involve doing absolutely nothing, which I'm well suited to do.
And you have in your campaign platform or announcements over at electnobody.com, you have announced that you do intend to give a pardon to everyone in New Hampshire who has in the past and currently been convicted of any kind of nonviolent victimless crime. Isn't that right?
Every victimless crime in New Hampshire, I would pardon. If you've harmed somebody, sorry, you're out of luck. But if you haven't harmed anyone and they're calling you a felon, they need to stop.
Real quick, one of the blackmail cards reads, "You must act like your pants are on fire during your response. You must respond by imitating any famous cartoon character." So you have to debate using these blackmail cards underneath you.
What's up, Doc?
855-450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge Wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Following reports earlier today that Indiana University freshman Lawrence Plotnick's roommate Brian Tabor has found an excuse to go home every weekend since August, Plotnick spoke to Onion reporters about his roommate's frequent trips to his nearby hometown of Terre Haute, Indiana.
Every week since we got here, it seems like every time I ask him if he wants to hang out on Friday, he has some wedding or birthday party or something. In fact, I'm pretty sure he hasn't spent a single Friday or Saturday night on campus in the past 6 months.
Plotnick went on to cite a variety of far-ranging excuses used by his roommate to justify his constant visits home, including various family functions, a visiting friend from China, as well as his occasional desire to, quote, just hang out at home for a couple of days.
I mean, I suppose I vaguely understood when he had to go back in November because his best friend's grandfather died, but last weekend he had to go back for his aunt and uncle's wedding anniversary. He said he couldn't miss it.
This is the Onion News Network.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Yes, this is Free Talk Live. The live radio call-in show where you can call in and talk about whatever you want. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom. And tonight in the studio, it's myself, the captain.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And we have been talking about a wide variety of subjects tonight. Ian, you had something that you brought in tonight regarding, is it Bernie Sanders and Flava Flav?
Well, apparently Flava Flav may not be a huge fan of Bernie Sanders, and he got a little upset, understandably, when it appeared as though Public Enemy had teamed up with Bernie Sanders. There was apparently some marketing for Bernie Sanders' campaign where Sanders used both Public Enemy's name and the title of their song Fight the Power on promotional items, posters for an event that happened at a campaign rally on Sunday in Los Angeles. used the Fight the Power in red at the top with Bernie Sanders plus Public Enemy on the bottom. And so that caused a bit of a riff.
So wait a minute.
Rift.
How old is Bernie Sanders? 60?
It's got to be in his 70s, right? Is he 60? He's only 60. No way.
No,
he's in his 70s.
He's older than that. I think he's older than Trump.
How old is he?
I'll find out for you.
Because I can't imagine that he would know who Public Enemy was, much less be a fan of their music.
78 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got a campaign manager pushing him in a direction, is my guess. But
Who are younger. His campaign staff are obviously younger than he is.
Yeah, I mean, he was a Che Guevara fan, and Che Guevara was famous for putting people in concentration camps for listening to rock and roll. So I'm guessing his musical tastes are pretty sedate.
The story from CNN, the iconic rap group Public Enemy has had an internal struggle this weekend with a founding member, Flava Flav, being fired. Quote, Public Enemy and Public Enemy Radio will be moving forward without Flava Flav, said Public Enemy in their statement on Sunday, according to Rolling Stone. Quote, we thank him for his years of service and we wish him well. Unquote. Flava Flav and Chuck D were beefing over the marketing of their group's name and likeness being used by Bernie Sanders, who held the campaign rally we talked about. Rolling Stone reported that in a letter to Sanders, Flava Flav's attorney wrote that Public Enemy's endorsement of Sanders was false. The letter exclaimed that only Chuck D was supporting the candidate. Attorney Matthew Friedman wrote in the letter, quote, while Chuck is certainly free to express his political views as he sees fit, his voice alone does not speak for Public Enemy. The planned performance will only be Chuck D of Public Enemy. It will not be a performance by Public Enemy. Those who truly know what Public Enemy stands for know what time it is. There is no Public Enemy without Flava Flav.
Well, apparently now there is.
Chuck D is just going to go on tour as Private Enemy.
There you
go. Friedman's letter to Sanders said the marketing of the event Sunday was a grossly misleading narrative that was careless, irresponsible, if not intentionally misleading, which is what you would expect from a politician. He said in the letter, quote, if Bernie allows this deceptive marketing to continue without clearly connecting the messaging to reflect the true nature of this endorsement, which should accurately read Chuck D of Public Enemy, not Public Enemy, Sanders will have himself played a part in whitewashing a key chapter in American history, he said. Chuck D, however, said that he could perform as Public Enemy if he wanted to because, quote, he's the sole owner of the Public Enemy trademark. Intellectual property.
Okay, to anybody out there who's listening to this story, I got something I have to say, and that is you don't fight the power by putting the person you like the most in the position of power to use the power on other people to get your way. That's not how you fight the power.
Yeah, Bernie's pretty much looking to expand the power.
That's right. Is, yes.
You know, he's raging on behalf of the machine.
He is.
So true. Flava chooses to dance for his money and not do benevolent work like this, said Chuck D. He has a year to get his act together and get himself straight or he's out, he said. On Sunday, Chuck D responded to a tweet from someone who said Public Enemy without Flava Flav isn't Public Enemy. He said, quote, I would not have a Public Enemy without Flavor Odette, Chuck D wrote. However, I will park it in the driveway, take off the plates, wait to re-register it when it's running right, and drive the smart call called Enemy Radio. Then we expect your Public Enemy support when that vehicle is right ready. I don't understand what that means.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Trying to paint a metaphor.
I think you had to be there.
He's trying to paint a metaphor and compare his musical career, his musical skills with that of a car. He's like, oh, well, if Flava Flav doesn't want to play, I'll just, take my parts and go build a different car and paint it my way. And again, he's talking about using, like, the status systems, right? I'll get my own registration and my own license plate.
And he's using intellectual property as well.
A metaphor is like a simile.
It's similar to a simile.
Chuck D also tweeted, and here he says, quote, last final note. The last final note was my last straw was long ago. It's not about Bernie with Flav. He don't know the difference between Barry Sanders or Bernie Sanders. He don't know either.
Well, that's true of many Garth Brooks fans as well.
Yeah, we reported that this weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
Flav refused to support at Sankofa after Harry Belafonte inducted us. He don't do that, so I don't attack Flav on what he don't know. even though he's tweeting about it. I got to leave him at the crib, so y'all trying to fill his persona with some political aplomb is absolutely stupid. Obviously, I understand his craziness after all this damn time. Duh, you don't know him from a box of cigars or me either. According to the story, Sankofa...
Cuban cigars?
Sankofa was founded by legendary actor and activist Harry Belafonte, and according to its site, the organization, quote, educates, motivates, and activates artists and allies in service of grassroots movements and equitable change.
So is it safe to assume that Belafonte doesn't support the Elefante?
It sounds like he's probably supporting Sanders, would be my guess.
Yeah.
That's Colonel Bernie Sanders, for those of you who aren't familiar with the meme.
So it sounds like there's a bit of tough times hitting Public Enemy right now, and people are... This goes back to this division that people have over politics these days. People have been saying that it's worse now than it's ever been.
That binariness.
And maybe it is.
Nobody was divorcing their wife over voting for Dukakis.
There was a story about somebody got divorced over Trump, right?
Yeah, somebody. There was actually, it was a woman who divorced her husband because he voted for Trump purportedly.
And here you have a band that has been together a rap group that has been together for decades, now breaking up over Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard of a candidate or of a band whose Yoko Ono was a politician before.
How sad, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even having sex with Sanders.
I'm trying to think if I can...
Well, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume their sexuality.
Well, now, there's been other news in the world of politics. I guess a couple of the Democratic candidates dropped out of the race today and threw their weight behind Biden.
Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Right.
A sniffer.
Wow.
Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, I believe, bailed out of the race.
Wait, Butt Judge?
Yeah, he's
out?
He's out.
Yep. Butterplug is out.
Wow.
And
Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, I heard her name a few times. I have no idea what any of her positions
She's probably a leftist, would be my guess.
Well, I mean, Trump is a leftist, and the others are even lefters, so I can see how that would be.
So you've got the Tom Steyer guy dropped out over the weekend, and then...
Oh, good, I hate that guy.
Who was the other cat that dropped out? One of the other ones dropped out, too.
Yang.
Yang, that's
Yang
right.
dropped out. Tulsi's still in there.
She's still in. She's still getting 1%. She's going.
She's the least of the evils as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
so no yin and no yang?
And it looks like looks like the Democrats don't want to have anything to do with the least of the evils because she's gotten barely any support, sadly.
Well, not just that. She has been actively... they have actively fought against her at every... She's gotten the Ron Paul treatment more than anybody since Ron Paul has gotten the Ron Paul treatment.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, she doesn't support the military-industrial complex, and neither did he.
Well, speaking of irresponsible things, we're going to have your calls and your thoughts coming up. But first, we're going to have to go do a thing. But remember, our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Are you feeling the burn? This is Free Talk Live.
Do you feel like many of us? All the distractions in the world taking our minds and focus off what really needs to get done day to day? Well, Jeunesse has a dietary supplement called Mind to help with mental distraction, and it supports memory function. Go to gcnlife.com now to check it out. You're only at your best when your mind is at its best. Go to gcnlife.com or call toll-free 844-443-6637. That's gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, Take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Yes, this is Free Talk Live. You are in the right place. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's myself, the captain.
Yeah, it's Ian.
And nobody.
And you can join us and other liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June 29th until July 5th for ForkFest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. I'm stoked, you guys. I'm ready for this party.
Yep. It's coming up fast. I mean, we're like a quarter year away from it, basically.
You'll enjoy our 2020 vision.
Indeed. ForkFest happens the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and ForkFest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge. That also means there's no ticket cost. Just reserve your camping, RV site, or motel room with Rogers Campground for June 29th until July 5th. Where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You can simply relax and go camping with other liberty lovers, or you can create whatever experience or event you'd like others to have. If you're planning an event for ForkFest, be sure to let others know in advance. You can connect with other ForkFesters via the unofficial Telegram chat or the ForkFest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. That's forkfest.party. And
nobody's busy practicing for Forkfest 2020 right now.
Yeah, and I didn't die, but it was a big dab.
A big practice.
Well, you've got to do your reps if you're gonna hang out with the professionals, right?
Oh, it's true.
Let's go to your calls and your thoughts, shall we? Let's go to James in Charleston, South Carolina on 97.5. You are on Free Talk
station
Live.
that doesn't exist in Charleston. Is it a pirate radio?
Interesting.
Hello?
It's actually Charleston, West Virginia.
That's why. WVTS. All right.
Right. Hey, did I hear you guys right? Did you say Flava Flav was mad because Bernie was using his music?
No, well, what happened apparently was
his partner.
So Chuck D of Public Enemy is apparently teaming up with Bernie Sanders, and he
performed at a fundraiser for them, and he's apparently endorsing him.
They used Public Enemy on Bernie Sanders' marketing materials, and Flava Flav says that's not cool. He's not with that.
Well, did they use his music or not?
No, they used his image and they used the Public Enemy name,
and logo,
which refers to a band of at least 2 people. I don't know how many people are in it, but one of those people showed up to play Bernie Sanders' concert, a guy named Chuck D.
Right.
But they billed it as Public Enemy. So his name was basically being used. If somebody went there to see Public Enemy, they wouldn't have seen Public Enemy. They would have seen Chuck D
of Public Enemy.
And so he didn't like that advertising being used, and apparently Chuck D didn't like being called out for that.
And now, James, I want to point out that it's really easy for one to infer what you have inferred, and that is that perhaps that is the case, that Flava Flav doesn't like Bernie Sanders using their music or their logo or what have you in his campaign. Easy to infer that, but that is not what was stated.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, all of these rappers steal their music from other people. So
what do you mean by that?
If Bernie wants to steal,
are you talking about sampling there?
Yes.
Well, it's not stealing; it's borrowing. You're only borrowing.
Well, have you ever known one that wrote, their own music to their own songs?
Oh yeah, my first introduction to rap was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and they did White Lines, which is like a classic anti-cocaine ballad that got a lot of penetration. They did one called The Message, which actually I could do from memory even today, and it is brilliant.
Please don't. Okay, but
not that I would,
what,
because
I'm
not the musical guy.
Well, but before you get into why you called, I do want to just say, when you take a sample, whether it be as a rap artist or an electronic music artist or whatever, there's a lot of different places where samples are used. You're creating a new thing. You're using an old thing to make something new. I mean, this is how new things are created, not just in music, but also in construction and in all kinds of areas of life, where you take an old idea and you combine it with a new idea and you make a new thing out of it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, Shakespeare included pieces of the Bible.
Try that with a book. I mean, that it's called plagiarism. It's called copyright infringement.
Well, copyright's
there are times when you would want to put a piece of a book within another book, and that would be, for example, if you wanted to quote an extensive section so that people could see it when you refute it.
Hold on. Just let me address this, because in today's internet age, there are people on the internet who take characters from their favorite books or their favorite movies, and they make what they call fan fiction, or they make a fan film. So there's these Star Wars or Star Trek fans that make their own movies, and some of these copyright owners come after them with the force of the state to threaten them and go after them just because they love their product so much they wanted to sort of create this tribute to it, and then they go after them. I mean, is that something you support? Do you think that should happen?
Oh, absolutely. I think
sad.
that if you make something, you own that, and no one should be able to take it away from you.
Well, nobody
without your permission.
Okay, what I would say is nobody can take away your idea unless they hit you in the head just right. And that's an iffy thing. If they try that too often, they'll kill you before they make you forget that particular thing.
Ideas.
You know, it's unreliable. And now that I've said it, let me just say, kids, don't try this at home.
Yeah, I think it's sad. I mean, you don't have a right to use violence against somebody else just because they borrow an idea that you made, dude. And that's what you're talking about here. That's what the government backs their copyrights and their patents with is violence.
And I just
okay, all right.
If
wait
you
a minute.
look at the history,
wait a minute. Stop. Wait a minute. Stop. If I record 15 minutes of your show right now and play it over the internet, are you coming after me?
Hell
Absolutely not. We encourage you to do it, please.
So your stuff is not copyrighted.
We don't believe in intellectual property.
It's all Creative Commons.
Yeah, I mean, technically there's a copyright on everything because it's automatic and you can't get rid of it. But I believe, have released everything to the public domain.
I just want to point out to James.
We want anybody who wants to listen to us, we want them to hear us. You can, short of moving us physically, you can deliver it by any means you want to. Get these ideas out there. Get people thinking and talking.
He doesn't want to do that. He likes copyright.
I just want to point out to James that where people kind of get lost in the idea factory is when it comes to copying, right? Because copying is not theft. Theft is when you have a thing and I take it from you and you're left without a thing.
You're saying this as a musician.
The larceny.
I am a musician.
And I'm a computer programmer and I work exclusively on open source stuff because I don't want my work to go to waste.
Yeah, I wanted to get heard as a young musician, and so not only did we make our own cassettes of our practices, but we bootlegged our own copies of those cassettes and handed them out to people, right? Because that's what you do. You make copies and distribute it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you love your ideas, you don't care about copyright. If you love your ideas, you want somebody to hear those ideas and to make use of those ideas, even if it's in a completely different context. You know?
You guys are sponsored. You're sponsored, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't pay us to stop you from having people hear their commercials.
Okay, yeah, let's record an hour of your show, remove all your sponsorship, and just play that and say...
I don't care.
Don't we already do that?
Yeah, well,
you can just copy ours. Yeah, I think we've already done the work for you.
So you're giving me permission then to copy all your shows and rerun them, right?
Do whatever you want with them. You can even sell them.
All right. All right.
Try to make
you can even sell them. Go ahead, put them on CDs or DVDs or whatever, and try to sell them on the street. I don't care. You can do whatever you want with it.
Well, that's fantastic.
Take our logo, make T-shirts, and make $100,000 off of selling them, please.
Because
then there's 100,000 of our logos floating around town.
When you buy a DVD, you can watch it, but as soon as you show it to the public, they come after you.
No, it's as soon as you charge to show to the public. If you don't charge, they don't come after you.
You can charge
Let's do it.
If you can get somebody to pay to listen to our show, you're welcome to make as much money as you possibly can off
Thanks
it.
for the call, James. We're almost out of time, guys. I want to thank our callers.
I don't know how to do it. If he could figure it out, that'd be great.
Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McAlvany ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556.